Live from New York, let's break some up. You're listening to Shatter the Glass with your sister from another mister, Ghnea.
Hello. Good evening. I hope that you and your loved ones are well, whether you are here in the U.S. or abroad, because I know I am streaming in multiple places right now. For tonight's episode only, I'm actually streaming in multiple places because I felt like tonight's conversation was important for my fellow educators. And so I'm super excited about tonight. Instagram, what's going on? Make your way. You know, I'm only going to be here live with you guys for a few minutes, and then we're going to head on over to YouTube. So unless you already know me on Facebook on the different channels, then that's different. I'm streaming live on the Educator Suite as well as the Education Messiah and stuff like that. Like the other channels are going live too. But Shatter the Glass is where you need to go. And that's where I'm telling everyone. So please hit the like, share button. We're going to be going live. Well, I'm already live, but before I bring her up, I want y'all already to be in the momentum. Okay. So tonight's guest is a fellow educator. We worked with each other back in 2009, 2010. And she is an awesome woman with a bubbling, beautiful personality. And you guys know, those who know me in real life know I don't just give credit to people. I don't big people up. I'm not that person. Like, you have to be a genuine person for me to mention your name in other rooms when you're not even around. And that's just me. That's just my personality. And so I believe that good people know good people, and she's good people. And when I think of the space of education, we want good-hearted people in the space. It's been so many videos we have done over on the other pages where we talk to educators about educators and so forth. And it's like, we want people who have big hearts and who genuinely care about children to actually be the ones serving children. And this girl is that. Ghnea is that. She's always, I don't care. I remember situations where definitely things were on the downside and she still was bubbly. Perfect for kindergarten. I will say that for all my pre-K, kindergarten, first grade and second grade friends. That's the personality that we hit with, right? Because we know that our little friends require that type of energy and that much energy. And so she is a gold star in my eyes. And that's why I can't wait to bring her up tonight. And so tonight we're going to actually dive deep with her in talking about her journey through education, but also teaching abroad. We have to get into position of understanding that, hey, the world is global, education is global, and we are not stuck behind any borders. And I would hope that COVID also taught us that as well, right? And so I cannot wait for you guys to meet her, learn from her, hear her journey, and definitely salute and support. And let's dive deep on other educators who are doing this work in other countries for the first time, or actually making it a mission. I actually know a few people who they just country hop. And so I'm super excited to bring her up. Come welcome us. Come on, Ghnea. How are you?
I am just fine. How are you, my dear?
I am good. Happy Sunday, okay? And schools in New York are on break, so take a deep breath, y'all. I've been on break since last week, though, but you know.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. We closed down. Like, oh, no, we're closed.
Nice.
Rest is important.
Absolutely.
People don't realize that, but rest is important. So I'm so excited. Welcome to the platform. And we're going to just dive straight in with it, not holding no weight. What inspired you to become a teacher? Actually, you know what? Don't even answer that yet. I'm going to fall back for a second. I'm going to go with my other question. What does education mean to you?
Wow. Education? means everything to me. It is a platform that you have to reach the lives of many. Education is my life. Education is something that I wanted to embark on since I was a little girl because I have the power to change lives. I have the power to impact people. I have the power to share knowledge and reach many people that I can. Many of my family members are educators, and I look up to them, and I look up to the educators that I had in my life and how they impacted me and helped me to grow. And I just know in my life, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to impact all the lives that I touch.
That is awesome. So
That's
you can
what I wanted to do.
you can still hear me, right?
All the lives that I touch. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just doing some background work. So, okay, what inspired you to become a teacher? I mean, I know you just said, hey, you know, some people in my family are educators. And before you say that, shout out to the other Miss Hockaday, Jalinda, who has been great also in this space. And I also know who has a heart to give in the global space when it comes to academics. Share with us about that.
Well, you know, I could just say that my family members, I look up to my family members and I look up to what they're doing in their lives and how they inspire me. And not just my family members, but also educators, teachers that I had since I was in elementary school, and how they are considerate. They take the time to work with you and help you grow and feed all this knowledge and impart knowledge on to you. And they look at your strengths and your weaknesses. And being an educator, you have to be that person to see that child's strengths and weaknesses and help them grow and help them become a better version of themselves. So I look up to my family members. I get advice from them and they help me, they support me, they guide me. And I just know that with all of that and the upbringing that I had, that I wanted to do the same thing and impact many lives that I come across. And I can't say that it's always easy. It's not always easy, but it's a journey. And you know that you have many people looking up to you and you are a role model. And that's who I consider myself to be every single day.
I love it. I love it. See, you guys, this is what I'm saying. Hold on. I know you guys can't see me for a second, just taking care of some business in the back, but I'm here. There we go. Please hit the like and subscribe button, people. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm so happy that you had you mentioned that and you said it because it's super, super important. And so that's why I came on with saying, no, we have to support our other fellow educators in this space who do the work, who show up and who love what they do. You know, we've been through some very, very trying times, but oh, look, she's the best teacher. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
My students.
Yes, I love that your students are also showing up. Hi, guys. We love the work that she does. We love the work that it brings to you guys. And that is just leaving another mark in the world. And so we pray that you pay it forward as well, because you guys had an awesome teacher, obviously, for you guys to be showing up for her tonight on a Sunday. So, okay. I love that. Let me flip it back around for my Instagram people. I love that your family has been in education. How long have you been in the space?
I would say since 2010.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right when we met on the scene.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right. And let's go this direction now. What made you consider teaching abroad? Because I mean, you could have stayed here. You could go to Long Island. You could be in the 5 boroughs. You could have been in Yonkers. I mean, why leave the state? Why go to another country?
That is such an interesting question. I would have to say that it was August 2014, and we were already working. Well, I was working at the charter school that we worked at, and I know that you had left prior to that time. And working at a charter school, for anyone that knows, it is around the clock. It is busy. Okay. Yes. In your summer, you know, your summer is pretty much gone because you go back 2 weeks at the end of August for pre-service. And I remember what that space was like working in the charter school, not having like the work-life balance for me, always working around the clock. And I wanted something more. I wanted to grow in my field. And there was just some things with the charter school that you don't receive working at a public school. So, you know, at the charter school that we worked at, you're not paying into the teacher retirement system. You have a 401k, but you don't have NISTers. You are an at-will employee. They can let you go at any time. So you don't have that job security. Also, you're not paid on a step scale salary. So it does not matter my credentials. It does not matter my certifications. I'm always going to get this base salary and get a small percentage increase, even if I have 30 credits above my master's or 60 credits above my master's.
Hold on. I will say that all charter schools are not created equal.
Yes.
And so some do.
Yeah, that is true.
Some honor the step system and, you know, some don't.
That's right.
And also that school was also new. So at that time, they didn't have any of those particulars because they were brand new. So that's the other thing. Now, I don't know what they over there doing now, but that's another story. But just so that people get clear with that. All right, go ahead.
So then, like with all of that, and you know, it was August, and I'm saying that I know that when I go back in September, I'm gonna feel like that teacher burnout. All these things that I'm not going to get the benefit working at that charter school if I was in a public school. So then I just started thinking in my mind that, you know, I wanted to get into a public school system, but getting into a public school system, it was very difficult. So teachers on Long Island, we apply on OLAS. We know when we go on OLAS, we could apply for jobs. And I was applying on OLAS and everyone's saying, OLAS is great. OLAS is great. You will get a job. And I'm like, everyone's getting a job but me because nobody's reaching out to me. I'm not even getting an interview. So I'm wondering, like, what's going on? Is it me? Is it something that's wrong with me? So then back in August 2014, I just went on Google. You know, we always say Google it. I went on Google and I typed in teach abroad. And from that moment, it was history because I'm doing the research. I'm looking into the website on Teachaway, and Teachaway offers, Teachaway is an international recruitment company that helps teachers or not even teachers. You don't have to be a teacher to teach abroad. You can be a person who has a bachelor's degree. That's the minimum requirement to teach abroad. And of course, you need your TEFL certificate, which stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. But when I created my account for free and I inserted certain information about myself, you know, my credentials, and then from that moment, someone reached out to me from Teachaway and wanted to see what would be a best fit for me to work in different parts of the world.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But now let me ask you, because, you know, I gotta give you the glass moment here. Let me ask you, what was it like did you do this alone? Like sometimes, you know, we have this great idea and we're like, we're not going to tell nobody. So when you started to look into this, did you tell anybody?
At first, no, not at first. It was just a thought that I was just contemplating in my mind because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to teach abroad. I was just, you know, exercising this idea that I could possibly do it. And then when things started to unfold, that I'm getting the placement coordinator reaching out to me about my application and that he wanted to move forward with the next steps, I said, okay, then it looks like I'm in this for real. So let's move forward with it. And then by moving forward with it, then an international recruiter that was affiliated with the company I applied to, I applied to teach abroad with a company called English First in China. And that recruiter reached out to me, and then she set me up with an interview, and then I had a demo lesson via Skype, and it was history after that. All I had to do was sign the contract, and I was on my way.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So now I want to know, what was the response from your family when you said, I'm out of here, I'm going to China? Hold that thought. Don't even answer. Don't answer that question. That's the question for you. Listen here. If you are on Instagram, please, by all means, make your way to Shatter the Glass on YouTube. Make your way to Shatter the Glass on YouTube. We are live, and she's about to answer that question, y'all, because you want to know. Everybody got a family for the most part, or at least really close friends that they consider family. And so if you're getting up and you're like, listen, I'm about to go to China to go work, I'm pretty sure the conversation was very interesting. I know mine was when I told everybody I was going to Uganda. So, all right, y'all, head over there, escalator. All right, go ahead now with it. So what happened?
Oh my gosh. My mom was flipping out. She was flipping out. She was nervous because I'm her only girl.
Okay.
I have two brothers. I'm the only girl, and she was nervous because I have never been away from home for a long period of time. Mine is going on trips, day trips here and there, or traveling to a different state. But to be away for a whole year, my mom was nervous. But she believes in her children. She knows that I was passionate about teaching abroad because of my situation. I wanted to explore. I wanted to expand. And I'm always a person that believes in greatness. And that's what I try to instill to my students, believing in greatness, because I'm committed to excellence. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I always want to strive for my best. But my dad was cool. He was like, he was okay with it. He was okay. But my family was comfortable with me being away because when they spoke to me when I was in China and they knew that I was safe and I was okay, they were okay.
Got it. What was the hour difference between there and New York?
In China is 12 hours ahead.
Woo.
Yes.
How are you dealing with that and being able to even call home?
That, I had to set up a schedule. I had to set up a schedule because when it was 6 p.m. there, it's 6 a.m. there. And when it's 6 p.m. in China, it's 6 a.m. in New York. So I had to be on a schedule. I had to get used to the time zones. That was hard. I was always sleeping at the wrong time. So.
Oh, hey, Tawana. Yes. So, okay, yeah, no, it's, I can only imagine. Anything, once you start hitting global stages, you have to be considerate about the times, when you call people, when they call you, and stuff like that. And so I wanted to know that, because how many years were you over in China?
I was there for 3 years, but I never intended to be there that long. I was only there for a 1-year contract, but then I started to get more into, I love what I was doing. I was traveling to different countries. I was traveling within China. I mean, oh my gosh, like all the places I've been to. And if it was not for me being in China, I would have not made it to Japan and Singapore and Malaysia and Australia and Cambodia and Vietnam. I mean, I've been to so many countries and, different parts of the world. I have these experiences that will last me for a lifetime.
Yes.
So I'm an international traveler, baby.
Yes. I love it. Listen, we don't catch feelings, we catch flights, okay? So wait, all right. So you're in China, you get there. I want to know day one, what happens? You get to China, now what?
Okay, so check this out. See, I don't like to leave the house without my cell phone. My cell phone has to be with me. Even, I only work 20 minutes away from home. But if I happen to leave the house without my cell phone, I'm going crazy because it provides some sense of security for me. But can you believe when I went to China, I didn't have my cell phone?
What?
I didn't have my cell phone. It was some crazy situation. So I'm team iPhone, right? But I got T-Mobile. And it was some type of bad connection in the phone. Like I couldn't get on the internet. I couldn't make phone calls. So I didn't bring the phone with me. I left it at home. But when I got to China, I didn't have a phone. I couldn't contact my family. They didn't know if I made it there safely. So it was like all this craziness going on. But when I first got there, someone at the airport that works with English First, you have like people who work with foreign teachers. He's holding a sign with my name, Ghnea Hockaday, English First. He provided transportation to the hotel. So all foreign teachers are set up with a hotel for 2 weeks because we have to find an apartment. But I was going crazy with not having my phone because I couldn't reach my family. They didn't know if I was safe or not. But lucky for Mama came through. she got me a phone. She shipped it to China, and that took some time because we talking many miles away. But I finally got my phone, and I reached out to them, and they was just happy to hear their baby girl.
Oh my God. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how does that work? Because I was going crazy over my luggage, right? So when I went to Uganda, and I got to do a separate show just to go through that story, but they're saying my name wrong on the plane. But I knew it was me because people always say Wayne. And I'm like, don't you see the first letter is Y? But that's another story for another day. And so finally, I said, you're looking for me. They're like, yeah, we need to let you know your bags are not here. They didn't make the flight. So I'm like, where's my clothes?
Yeah.
And they like, it's in Dubai. I'm like, I'm in Africa. Where is my clothes doing in Dubai? We're not even on the same time. Like, what is happening? And they're like, we promise you we're going to get you your bag. And I'm like, I'm in Africa with no clothes.
Oh my God.
Ooh. What am I wearing? I don't even know. I'm distraught over this bag, circling around this airport. And met a guy friend who became a really, really good friend. Who made sure I got to the mall. So thank God I had the wallet and it wasn't in that bag. Like, sometimes you put certain things in different places, but I had a carry-on, and thank God for the carry-on. But I had no clothes.
Oh, that's a hot mess right there.
I was like, we're not talking about another state. My stuff is in a whole other country, just sitting there. But anyway, so those are the travel issues. But so now you're in China, you get there. Did they have an apartment for you, or did you have to go find one? Where did you stay?
So I was staying at this hotel in Shenzhen, China. So Shenzhen is a city that's near to Hong Kong. Okay. And think about the weather in Florida with all that humidity, but it's ×2 in Shenzhen. Like, it was insane. So you're like drenched, you're drenched because you only feel cool when you're in an apartment, you have AC, but when you step outside in the public, like, it's crazy. But so I stayed in this hotel. I was there for 2 weeks, but in the midst of being in that hotel, the person who works with all the foreign teachers from different parts of the world, they set us up. They help us get an apartment. So they speak the language to the person who, they help us find the apartment. They're speaking in Chinese. The contract is in Chinese, and they're handling all the negotiations with us. So she helped me out every step of the way, but not only getting an apartment, setting up a bank account, getting a Chinese phone. So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I had a phone. I had a Chinese phone that I was able to get because I had help from someone who works with English First, and they helped me with all of those because I can't speak the language. So how am I supposed to get all of that,
Right. Oh, they're showing you love.
I see my students.
So, okay. Who pays for the apartment?
I did.
So you had to go to China with money already ready to pay for an apartment.
Yes. Well, I did leave with, I had $2,000 that would help me with, for food, anything that I needed to purchase while I was there. But for rent, it was $500 a month. And I had a very nice apartment. It was 2 levels. I was near to the school that I worked at, so I didn't have to travel far. I was able to walk to the school that I worked at. Oh, and I was teaching kids and teens from an age range from like 3 to 17 years old.
Age 3 to 17?
Yes.
Oh my. I'm writing that down. So, well, wait a minute. Now, were you only teaching English, or were you teaching the other subjects as well?
Only English.
English. Okay.
Yep. So teaching them, different sentence structures, ways to communicate, colors, animals, you name it, but just a way for them to understand And this is the thing about working for a private language center. I don't want people to think working for a private language center, it's like working in a U.S. public school where you have 25 plus students, you have structure, you have students who write the learning target, you unpack the learning target. It's nothing like that. Working for a private language center, especially English first, I had a small group of students, maybe 12 max, and you have to make learning fun. Learn everything that you taught has to be a game. You have to make learning a game for them because English is not their first language. It's a foreign language to them. But you have to use strategies, methodologies. You have to pull all the tricks out the bag. Okay? Because we know that as teachers, that you have that teacher toolbox, and you do whatever you can to make the students engage in the lesson, but you're doing that every single day. I remember, let me tell you about this toolbox. So you see teachers, think of someone performing on Broadway. Mm-hmm. You are like an actor or an actress every single day. So I'm coming with these 2 garbage pails because we about to play basketball. Okay. The students had some paper. We rolled it up. I would show with these flashcards some animals. I pull out a cat. The students say cat, but they have to take that ball, throw it in the trash can, and whatever team, if we were playing teams, whatever team got the ball in that trash can first, they got a point. But see, that to them is exciting.
Right.
So you make it fun for them.
Right. No, I like that. I get it because that means we're doing skills. Skills and actual memory on language, and making connections through images and vision. So, okay, I get it. I'm following. Now, so you get there, you get the apartment, you get a phone, you start. What's day one like for you?
What's day one? Okay, I got to go back 8 years. So day one, well, one thing I do want to mention that I was not the only foreign teacher there. I arrived in China with teachers from all different states. So it was a large group. It was like 17 of us. And I made friends with other teachers from North Carolina, different parts of the states, some teachers from Canada. So we had built a community amongst ourselves. But day one would be working at this private language center in uniform. I had a set schedule. I had a certain number of students I worked with. I had a Chinese co-teacher, which was helpful because there's some things that you can't use a visual to try to get your point across. Sometimes you need that translation. You need the translation to be spoken in their language so they could understand. So that's what helped me. But I do have to say that I did not stay at the private language center. I ended up teaching at a public school 4 months later. And
4 months later?
Yes.
So you didn't even fulfill your contract?
No.
Oh my God. But wait. So hold on. You go with the intent of doing a year and dealing with this one company that helped set you up. And then you left them. Why did you leave? Was it not working out, or was this other opportunity better?
Yes. Working for a private language center, it's not what you would expect because you're teaching, but you're teaching in a different way. So me being a teacher and having an educational background, it wasn't what I expected. And I was miserable, to be quite honest. I was miserable working there. And, sometimes it all depends on who you connect with. Because me being in China, I'm meeting people who are recruiters, people who work for different public schools, different institutions. And I was just having a conversation with someone. I think I was at a sushi restaurant, having a conversation with someone I became friends with. And she knows a recruiter that lives in China, and she's looking for foreign teachers to work in public schools, a Chinese public school. Mm-hmm. And, I had to say, like, that was my amazing grace, because I did not want to end up coming back home because I'm not a quitter, but it was very difficult for me. And I would communicate with my family back home that this is hard. but I did not want to quit and come back home. So I was just in it. And you know what? You know, people are put into your path for a reason, and you don't know. But this person came into my path. She was telling me that she's a recruiter and that I could end up working at a public school. But, you know, she passed my information to this recruiter, and one thing led to another, that I had a demo lesson at this public school. And I rocked that demo lesson because I got hired. I got hired for that job. And let me tell you, it was amazing because I got an increase in my salary working for this Chinese public school. I had summers off because at the private language center, you only receive 10 days of vacation. Oh, so wow. Can you imagine working for a whole year, but then 10 days in the summertime, I would want to see my family and come back home. But working for that private language center, I couldn't. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of love pop up on the screen.
They here for you, girl. Yes. So, okay, so you're at the first class 4 months. You now get the job at the public school in China. What were the requirements for that position?
So the requirements for that position would just be having your bachelor's degree. You do need your teaching English as a foreign language certificate. Mm-hmm. And I had my state teaching certifications. Mm-hmm. So I had my master's degree. I had my childhood education degree. I had my master's in teaching of literacy. And that all helped for me to work at that public school. And I was teaching first and second grade. But let me tell you, oh my gosh, the class size, 50 students.
50?
50. Okay. That was something that I was not used
to. And yeah, you get the shatter on that. 50 students.
Yes.
What was the behaviors like?
It was challenging. It was challenging because I was the first foreigner that these students ever met in their lives. I'm teaching first grade. They never had a foreign teacher. All of their teachers in the Chinese public school are all Chinese that speak Chinese. Now, the students do have Chinese teachers that teach English, but I was the first foreigner that taught them English. So when I walked into the classroom, it was April 2015. I walked into the classroom, 50 first graders, and the class was just chaotic. You have students doing karate. You have students out of their seat. You have students running around, and they look at me. I walk into the classroom by myself, and they look at me. I'm from your 5th period class. Oh, okay. Hi, honey. It was insane. And teachers and my students know teachers do certain things to get the attention of the students.
Yes.
There's certain things that we do. If we have to ring a bell, we ring a bell. Working with elementary students, you do the clap. We all know what the clap is.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, all eyes on me, depending on the age group. But all of that stuff that you do in the States does not work in China. Right. So it was difficult to try to get their attention. And how can you teach a class when you don't have the attention of the students? So I had to try to figure some things out. And eventually I did. It was a long process. Okay, hi from my 4th period class.
I love it.
Yes, I had to figure some things out, but it did get better when the vice principal. So in China we go by the names principal, vice principal, not assistant principal. And the vice principal decided to pair me up with the Chinese co-teacher. But now Chinese teachers, they get the respect. The students are on point. They sit, they're ready for instruction. So by having that Chinese teacher, the presence in that classroom, I was able to teach the lessons, teach whatever I needed to teach in order to reach my point across to the students.
So you covered all subjects now once you got into the public school?
Just English.
You still was just teaching just English?
Just English.
Wow. Interesting. That is very, very interesting. Okay. So now I'm following. Okay. So then your contract with this school was for how long?
1-year contract.
It was still a 1-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
How do you end up there 3 years?
You know, I would have to say, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but being the first foreign teacher there in that school, because that Chinese public school never had a foreign teacher.
Wow.
They grew to love me.
Mm.
The teachers there, the students there, they grew to love me. And because my passion shined through, I'm an educator. That's all I know. That's what I grew that passion from a little girl to the age that I am now. And even being out of my comfort zone, but being in China and staying true to myself and what I believe in, that shined through. And I'm imparting knowledge in a way that the Chinese teachers never saw before. I'm incorporating songs and dance and videos. Chinese teachers, they have their own style of teaching. But then when you have a foreign teacher who's using what she knows from the United States and she's bringing it into your school, they love that. So they just grew to love me. And 1 year became 2 years. And I'm like, I'm not ready to go back home yet. I'm staying.
Wow.
I'm staying. I'll come back home. I'll come back home during the summertime. But after that, I'm going back. Now, I'm not going to lie. It was hard to go back. It was hard to go back because I was leaving my family, and I would be in tears sometimes. But I knew that there was still more that I wanted to do over there. Mm-hmm. And not only teaching, but then I found other ways to make extra income. I was tutoring students. I was tutoring my first graders and my second graders, because you would have parents who would come to the school and they want to see instruction taking place, and that could happen there. They want to know instruction being taught from a foreigner. What does that look like? So they would come there and they would see me, and they wanted me to tutor their child outside of school. So I started making extra income. And then, another opportunity arose for me. I saw a beautiful comment that just came across the screen.
Yes.
that was beautiful. And I had an opportunity to make commercials. Make commercials related to English instruction. Once again, working with, networking, not being afraid to speak to people. Mm-hmm. Because there was this man who was in China, but he's from Singapore, and I made friends with him just from going to McDonald's out there. And they had McDonald's out there. I had to get that Big Mac.
Lord, I can't.
Yes. But he told me about an opportunity of making commercials. And, I have to be honest, I did not really accept that opportunity, because I was still out of my comfort zone, a little bit nervous. I was still in my shell because it was May of 2015. I've only been there for 6 months. So I was still trying to find my way. Mm-hmm. And now that I think about it, I'm like, dang, I should have just made them commercials. Come on, girl. What was you thinking? But there's always going to be another opportunity. And then when that opportunity comes, you take it and run with it.
Yes, and matter of fact, let's hit the glass button. I was trying to sum that up. Wow. Okay, so you didn't make the commercials, but there was an opportunity to do so.
I think I made 2 commercials, and I'm like, oh, I made 2, and I'm like, oh, this is hard. And
so the commercials was just to promote a school, or was it to tell me what the commercial was to do?
The commercials was to teach, you're teaching English. There's ways that you teach English, but you're trying to build an audience of children who will want to learn English instruction. So you're teaching it. You're
trying to attract parents to have their kids learn English.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And now, all right. So you end up staying. Not 1 year, not 2 years, but 3 years.
Yes.
Now why leave?
So, and this was hard because that 3rd year I was contemplating if I should do 1 more year. But I decided to come back home because when you're working out of the country, oh my gosh, thank you. When you're working out of the country, you're not paying into the teacher retirement system. So then I'm losing that time because I'm not investing into the retirement system. And then working at the charter school, you know, I was there for 4 years. That's 4 years right there. 3 years in China. That's 7 years not being invested into the teacher retirement system. And I'm like, I got to come back home. And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have stayed a little bit longer because I was enjoying my life. I was enjoying traveling. And of course, I come back home to see my family, but there was things that I was doing while I was there. And I'm learning, and I was learning Chinese. I'm not fluent, but I was learning it. So, you know, but I decided to come back home because of that reason.
So why not? Now you're about to hear the business side of me, not the educator side of me. You could have done your own retirement plan. You do know that, right?
I could have done
your own retirement plan. You can deal with life insurance agents and stuff of that matter, and people who work with estate planning and different things of that nature, where you could have been creating your own benefit system for yourself. It'll be your money, obviously, but there's different ways to play into the game where you don't have to sit there and be stuck in one place, worried about their benefits and retirement system, because you're building your own.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yes, you got to deal with the people who get into estate planning and stuff like that, because there's plenty of people who put it this way. Think of like somebody like me who are entrepreneurs and stuff. So I'm not tied to nobody's school system. I do what I want to do. And so with that being said, if I'm looking at banking for my future, I have to be the one who invests into it on my own.
Wow. That's good to know.
Yeah. So no, you're never limited. I just wanted to put that out there, and that goes for anybody else who's following us, as well. Entrepreneurs are always in the space of looking at we're paying for our own healthcare insurance, or there's different things we're paying those coverages on our own. We're not tied to anybody, because what we bring in is what we bring in, but there is ways to build your wealth around that. And so another way too is, if you would have took some of the money and got some real estate.
Okay.
Real estate is the gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely.
So just some things. So I don't want you to feel like, just in case you feel like hopping on a plane again. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm thinking now.
Yeah. There's different, and oh yeah. No problem, Tawana. All right. I know we got off on track. How were you treated as a foreigner over there?
Okay.
Because I always hear mixed stories. So I am interested in yours. Some is good, some hasn't been good, But what's your experience?
I would say, well, one thing I want to say is that I always felt safe being in China. Okay. I did not feel that I was targeted in any way. But the Chinese locals, they see you, they stare at you, and that could be a little off-putting at times, but then you get used to it. But as far as the foreign teachers, some of the foreigners that you would see as you're walking to the store, you would think that, you see another foreigner, you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Nope, they walk right past you like they don't know you.
Oh, so they was on New York time.
Yes. I'm like, am I in New York?
So you felt home.
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know. That is good to know, because a lot of people are scared to go abroad because you don't understand the politics or the culture of a country, and you're not sure how you will feel, or how you'll be treated, right? Because things do also happen to people who travel abroad sometimes, and we're all fortunate that you had a great experience, and made it back home, right? So that's there's weird things that do happen. Let me ask you this: would you do it again?
That's a good question. Would I do it again? Would I do it again? If I did, I would say I would, but I probably would not stay as long as I did if I was to do it again. I would probably just do 1 year and understand what it's like to teach abroad, and then probably come back home.
Okay. Is there another country you're interested in seeing through this pathway?
Thailand.
Okay.
Definitely Thailand. I visited there a few times, actually 3 times. I was in Bangkok, I was in Phuket, I was in Chiang Mai. And that's the thing. But living in China, I was able to travel to all these different countries
Easily.
Easily and inexpensive. It was inexpensive just to hop on a plane from China to Thailand, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, if that. But I'm not doing that leaving from JFK, because you know what that airfare will be like.
Yeah, but the thing is, and this is okay, so for those of you who are interested in traveling and doing work abroad, I will say this. Once you are out on the East, if you know exactly your length of stay, unless you have the freedom, of just doing your own thing, like there's a lot of nomads out there, and shout out to them. You can literally go country hopping. Find out what the requirements are, obviously with the visas and stuff of that nature, because every country is going to have a different rule. But as far as getting on a plane, you're already in that proximity, so you're not sitting there taking the 30-hour flight. And so I want people to feel encouraged to go out there and go travel and go see different places, because once you are on that side, it's so much easier to get on. I have a matter of fact, a girl named Alex. I don't know if she could have been watching from Instagram too. A group of people that I was with were from London. So London, they're always jumping into India or through somewhere in Africa. I have a friend, Lauren, that's out in Jersey. She taught Uganda, Ghana, and Mongolia. Like there's a hub of teachers who actually just go around and teaching in different countries from year to year. This is how they're exploring and getting to see. I mean, their family, they are single or whatever. I haven't met anyone who's doing it as a family yet. Some people who just do it for a couple of months, if they do teaching it for a season or doing some type of service projects, and that's also different. But there are different opportunities that exist. And so there was a lot of opportunities in Dubai, and there was a lot of opportunities in Rwanda, and a lot of opportunities in Tanzania, as I would say it, and some opportunities in India. So I'm just telling people that there are things out there. There's different companies. You must do your research all the time. You need to understand, and you should definitely always research the country well in depth of where you're going. Like before I went to Uganda, I was heavy in the studies. First of all, I was heavy in the study because it was my country project from the United Nations. So that's one. So I wasn't blind to the culture at all. 2, then I started to do my Googling. What do I need? Like, what's the weather like? And all these things, and learning the greetings of the culture and so forth, so that you become, you don't want to stick out completely like a sore, that you want to know something, and definitely know some of the food so that you can eat and enjoy yourself. Because I was going to ask you now, did you cook a lot or did you buy out? What was your food like?
Oh, I was ordering food every day. I was ordering food every day. At first. But then I found this international supermarket, and nice. I would travel there and I would pick up different things. And then I learned how to make Chinese cuisine, which is very different from Chinese takeout here in the States.
Absolutely.
So there was something that I was fond of. Hi, honey, from my 4th period class. There was some food that I was fond of. So it was called, it was tomato, egg, and rice. So, and that was, I enjoyed that. Ooh, it was delicious. How would I say that in Chinese? Okay, so I'm gonna use a little Chinese right here.
Girl.
I would say 猩红色 yi mi fan.
Come through, come through, come through. I love it.
I try a little something. So my Chinese was survival, but you had to learn to communicate
Yeah.
because how would you be able to communicate in certain things that you need if you don't know the language? So I would, and I wish I would still keep up with the language. It's a little difficult now, but Chinese has 4 tones. Mandarin has 4 tones. So you could say you could have one word that's pronounced, it has a different meaning because you're using a different tone. So that was another thing. And my Mandarin Chinese would make the students in class laugh because if I had to try to use Chinese, they would be looking like, what is she saying? Because she don't sound right. But I would, have to do whatever I could to try to reach them.
Okay. So let me ask you. Oh, well, is there another country you would be in? You said Thailand. Anywhere else?
Anywhere else? Maybe Vietnam.
Okay,
Vietnam is nice.
you staying in the Asian side. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. Vietnam. I like that. I'm with you on Thailand now. I am with you.
Yeah.
I even had a cousin who went to Thailand. She loved it. She's like, nah, Thailand is the best.
Oh yeah.
She said, Allison said, can you teach me Chinese?
Yes, Allison, absolutely.
Okay. So now let me ask you, when is a time that you felt like you shattered the glass?
A time that I felt like I shattered the glass, I would say, was when I decided 8 years ago that I was going to leave my comfort zone, my place of security, my family, to travel 7,000 miles across the globe to teach in China to a place that I was unfamiliar with. Because in spite of who I am, in spite of my mistakes, in spite of my flaws, I know that I'm destined for greatness. And I wasn't going to let my fear hold me back.
Yes. 2 times for that. Yes. What kind of mindset do you think that people need to have to be able to go to do this mission and to do that type of work? Or tell us, what was your mindset other than the fact that you felt the need being bigger than you? Like, what is the type of mindset that one needs to have to do that type of work?
You have to be respectful of other cultures because you're going to see cultures that are not familiar, norms that are not what you're used to. You have to have an open mind. You have to step out of your comfort zone. That's my mom that just popped up. That's my mom. I just want to say, Yane, that my family, I have family here. I may have some former teachers. I have my aunt, my aunt is here, my uncle is here, my brothers, my grandmother.
Hey,
I have a lot of people. I have a lot of people, a lot of friends, and my students, of course, who are here supporting me. And I just want to tell them thank you, because on a Sunday evening, they could have been doing so many different things. And just to take the time to spend here with me, I just want to tell you all that I thank you and I appreciate you. And thank you for this moment.
Thank you, guys. Yes. I love support. Support looks good and feels good when it's by genuine hearts,
Absolutely.
What was we saying? Oh, the mindset.
Yes, just having an open mind and being okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. As a teacher, I still make mistakes, but I'm not going to let my mistakes consume me. And I want my students to know it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to have the right answer all the time. So when you go into these different countries, learn, okay? Learn the culture, learn the norms, get yourself out there. And I do have tendencies to be an introvert. And there are times that fear still creeps up in my mind. I have to be honest. It is true that fear still creeps up in my mind, but I still have to be greater than my fear because I want to reach my zenith. Whatever my zenith is, I want to reach that platform. I want to reach that area of success and keep on going. And you know what? Now that you got me thinking, you got the wheels turning.
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't know this, Yane, but I am currently going for my administration certification.
What? I love it, as you should. as you should. It's not easy.
Yes.
It's not easy, but as you should. As you should. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome,
It,
welcome to the other side of the gate.
okay. Yes, and in being in educational leadership and being in the public eye, because as an administrator, you are in the public eye. You are on the forefront daily. And me, I don't like having all eyes on me. I don't like it. I don't like the attention. And being an administrator in my personality and who I am is like total opposites. But in spite of that, and I'm saying to myself, why am I going for my administration? Why am I going for this when I know that sometimes I get nervous speaking in front of big crowds of people? Why am I going for this? But then I know that I'm destined for greatness. And I know that when it comes down to it, I will be ready for what is in store for me. I'll be ready to reach students on a greater level. I'll be able to reach staff members and maybe change policies, educational policies. So this is what I'm looking forward to. And I tell myself, daily affirmations, I speak to myself and I say that I can do this. I'm destined for greatness. And I'm not going to let fear creep into my mind. And if it does, I'm still moving forward.
Yes, yes, yes. Hold on. Somebody said that they had wanted to hear more about China too. So I did ask if they had a specific question, but let me still make sure you get your glass shattered on that, because that is good. We need it. We need more transformative and innovative leaders on the administrative side. There's so many things that come with red tape, and so this is where so many have either left the game, or they stepped out and created their own entirely. And so, after you do what you do, you fill it out, you seek where you want to be. But I would encourage you too, if you feel the need or the push to say, I'm going to open up my own school, do it. Do it. You are not closed by any barriers. And I thank God for the virtual space, because virtual schools are here. People don't like them, but they are here as well. And so we need to continue to look at what alternative learning looks like.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look at what empowering students through literacy and their families look like, right? There's always more work to be done in that space. And again, personal development in educators is a huge piece as well. And so I actually did want to ask you too, what was professional development like in China?
There was times that we would have teacher trainings and we were learning, I think it was this reading program called Great Books. And we would learn, I got to reflect because this was 8 years ago. But we did have teacher trainings and we would meet with other international teachers and wow. Yeah, we did have time to communicate with other principals and other schools. So that was good. But, I can't really recall having too many opportunities for professional development.
Because I was going to say, is it here like where schools here are either meeting once a week or 2 times out of the month, and they're doing half days if they do it twice a month. Some are doing half days every week. It depends on, the structure of the school, and whether if it's public, private, independent, or charter, because there's so many different ones. Alexandra, Ms. Hockaday, you are the best.
You are the best, Alexandra.
And so that's interesting to know, because I look at it and say, if we continue to have big, lofty visions, we have to make sure we are developing the staff and the body of people to fulfill those dreams, visions. And sometimes people don't, right? And you've been in the school system long enough to know, like, it starts out great. Like, this is what we're doing. And then sometimes you don't hit that mark, or you be like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? This doesn't make sense. Here we go with something else, and we didn't done. People don't know that about the world of education, but that is exactly what it's like. And so, I'd always try to tell people, before you leave, keep an open mind and think about other places that you can literally go and do this work and go and enjoy it.
That's right.
How many hours a day were you at school in China?
The day started, I would say 8 a.m. and we would finish at, the day would end at maybe 4 or 5 p.m. But I gotta tell you, I only would teach 2 classes a day, and the class periods would be 45 minutes. So usually I would teach 2 classes per day, maybe 3 classes the most. We had a 2-hour lunch break, 2-hour lunch break from 12 to 2. And during that time, some teachers, they'll eat their lunch. Chinese teachers, they'll eat their lunch, and then they will take a nap. So within that time period, everybody is napping.
Let me tell you something. Hold on. I don't know, Bola, and I don't know if you're watching, but that is so up your alley. I have a friend who was a principal and everything, and she loves taking naps. she's big on naps, and I'm like, oh my Lord. So teachers had a 2-hour break. Was there a significance of why this break was for 2 hours?
I don't think it was any significance. I think it was something that happened within China. Everyone, it was like within that time period, everybody, you can't reach the person who you need to reach because they respect that time. And you see teachers in United States public schools, your time is not respected when it comes to lunch. You're doing something. You're always on the go.
Time is not respected at all. You're literally running, trying to eat, pick up kids, make a copy, go to the restroom, run back. It's a lot of pressure. Depending on your school, but for the most part, most of us can all relate in that space because you literally are running to go pick up your kids and make everything happen within this 45-minute break that you have, if it's even that long.
Yes. And when it was time for me to come back to the States, I was dreading it a little bit, not being home, but going back to the public school system and going back to what it is that we deal with. I'm like, oh my, because I didn't have, and I'm not saying that, my schedule there, that I appreciate not doing the things that I would do at a United States public school, but I didn't have parent-teacher conferences because I would not have to communicate with parents. I didn't have to grade tests. I didn't have to check papers. I didn't have to check homework. All I was there was just to teach English, spoken English. And then me knowing that when I come back home, already knowing what it's like teaching in the States, it was a little anxiety because I'm like, I know what I'm going to get myself back into. Right. But let me tell you how things work out, because I knew that I was coming back home. That I had an interview lined up when I was in transit from China back to the States.
Wow.
Because I was communicating with principals in Long Island because I wanted to make sure that when I come back home that I have a job secure. So I was communicating with principals, and I had an interview set up maybe a few days after I arrived. I came back home June 2018. I had an interview. Then I had a demo lesson at a public school in Long Island, and I got hired. And I have to say, it was the experience. One of the reasons why I was able to get the job, because of my teaching abroad experience. That speaks volumes on your resume. Yeah. It does. And I'm thankful for that experience because it's not difficult. Like, someone will grab you. Someone will grab you because they know the experience you have working with different cultures, working with different people, working out of the United States. So that was a big deal for me.
No, I can only imagine, because that means you're bringing more to the table. And, people are looking at it as, what skills did you learn while you're over there that they now can reap some of the benefits from too, with having you in their building. So I totally get that. I'm not even shocked by that at all. Let me ask you this. What's because we're coming to the top of our hour already. What's your advice for someone who wants to enter the education space or even teach overseas, what's your advice to them?
I would say do your research. Do your research. Be sure that this is something that you want to do, because you're going to be very far away from home and you're going to be out of your comfort zone. So I would say do your research, look into these different places, the different countries that you can possibly work, learn a little bit of the language before you even get there so that you know how to communicate, because this will all make you feel more comfortable and more confident, because you may be somewhere where you're by yourself. And I remember when I was by myself, it was difficult, but I pushed forward. I pushed forward because I was doing the research before I got there. And I would say that just know that you can do it. You can do it. It's not always going to be easy. You're going to make some mistakes, and mistakes are okay. It's just knowing how to get up and move forward past those mistakes, because tomorrow is going to be a better day and a brighter day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hold on. I was trying to get my glass together for you. Are there any companies that you recommend off the top of your head?
I can't recommend any companies, but I will recommend looking into Teachaway. So if you go to www.teachaway.com, check out the website, and even before you create a free account, read the information that Teachaway provides for foreign teachers, because Teachaway does an excellent job providing information about this new journey that you're about to embark on. The different programs that you could apply to if you want to work at a private language center or an international school. Teachaway even provides information on how to get a TEFL certificate. And they have the courses that you can take, although the courses are expensive, but at least you know that you're taking courses, because a TEFL certificate is needed for anyone who wants to teach abroad or teach online, even if you have teaching state certifications, because I would have that teaching state certification to teach within this state. But if I'm teaching abroad, I need that TEFL certificate. So I would say check out Teachaway. They is user friendly. There's a lot of information that you can read. And even to this day, I still happen to go on Teachaway because there's still new things that I'm learning about what Teachaway offers.
Got it.
And then you'll have someone there from Teachaway, like a placement coordinator that helps to get you established. They help find the best fit for you, the best school for you. Now, if you're going to apply for an international school, if you're looking on Teachaway, then you do need teaching state certifications along with your bachelor's degree. That's the minimum requirement, and having and then you will need your TEFL.
Okay. Let me Oh no, I think I lost my question. Because it was one off the top of my head, not one that was written down. Talk to me about this YouTube page. What made you start the YouTube channel?
And it's so crazy because I started this YouTube channel 8 years later from teaching in China, and I'm saying to myself, why didn't I do this when I was there? Why didn't I show my story while I was there? Because while I'm there, I could actually show what it looked like living there. But better late than never. That's what I always say. Better late than never. I'm starting now, and you know what? I have a story to share. So I'm not that person. I'm not that content creator. I don't, like I told you, I don't like being like having all eyes on me. But then I said, you know what, Janae, you have a story to share. I'm in these Facebook groups, and I'm in these teaching abroad Facebook groups, and you see people who are interested about teaching abroad, and they're curious about teaching abroad, and they're asking questions daily. And I'm like, you know what? How can I best reach a large number of people who are interested in teaching abroad in 2023? Yes, I could reply back to these messages, but it's hard to reach everyone,
right?
When they ask a question. So then I said to myself, I could reach a greater platform of people if I create YouTube videos. let me create videos sharing information. And I created that YouTube channel. Was it December? I think it was December 2022.
Oh,
And then
wow.
from
Okay,
there,
so your channel's new like mine. Okay.
very new, very new. And then I started a TikTok, and I don't know nothing about TikTok. What? I don't know about TikTok. My students know, and they give me pointers here and there. My nephew knows, and he was telling me how to trim, how to edit your video, how to split. I'm like, what is this? But I'm building a following,
Yes.
and people are interested. And another thing, this may be a shatter in the glass moment, Yane.
Go ahead. Hit us with it. Hit us with it.
I'm also learning that it is okay that when I create videos and I don't get the number of views that I would like to get, or I receive comments that may not be positive, I'm learning to understand that is okay. Everyone does not have to agree with what I'm putting out there.
That's it. That's it.
And I'm learning it is okay. And then, just recently in one of these Facebook groups, I posted, I don't know if you saw the video when I was sharing what it was like when I first went to China, and I was singing in the video.
Yes, I did. I seen that. I thought it was hilarious.
and I'm like, I am not a singer, I am a teacher, which is true. But someone had a negative comment to say about my video in one of them Facebook groups, and he's gonna tell me, oh, you're more like a tourist and not a teacher. And I'm like, did you not physically see me teaching? And I made a comment back. I did, but I'm learning to just let it be. It don't even matter.
Yes, I'll tell you what I learned. Stay out the comments. Stay out the comments. I mean, unless we're live streaming and stuff like this, if you're doing live, but I believe you are doing record and then post, right?
Yes.
So that's a different world, but no, you're not going to be for everybody. Everybody's not going to be for you, and it's okay. And understanding that you're over there. Go have several seats. Go enjoy your life. And make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button so you can see my next video with me singing and dancing and teaching. Like, that's what
Okay. Yes.
So how can what's the name of your YouTube channel?
It is Teacher World, but teacher is spelled TCHER. World.
All right. And so I'm going to put this on the screen. So all of you lovely people who are watching, if you want to learn more about what she's talking about, I'm putting it up right now. Go to her channel on Teacher World right here on YouTube. And then this website too, right? Pensite.com, Teacher World. What is this website?
So I just found out about this from being on TikTok, because you have people who are just sharing information and educating others. So Pensite, it links all of your social media in one place. So on Pensite, they're going to see my YouTube channel, my Twitter, my TikTok information, and they could reach me on any platform. My Facebook business page, they could reach me on multiple platforms.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this before we close out. Have you ever thought of, thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob.
Have you ever thought of being an entrepreneur? I'm going to put it that I'm going to say it that way before I lead you down a path where perhaps you are teaching a course on how to prepare yourself to teach abroad, and making those connections, you become like a point of reference for here in the States for people that may want to go teach in Cambodia, China, Thailand, Japan, and partnering and funneling yourself through leveraging yourself with recruiters without having to ever work for the recruiting company. But they know that you have access because you have teachers who are now following you on your social media pages and stuff.
I like that.
Yes, and those who are those companies letting them run ads on your channel.
Okay. I'm you
So
know what? I'm definitely open to that, Yane, because you know me, like I want to reach my zenith. So I'm definitely open to it, and I look forward to learning more about that.
yeah, I mean, it's just something that you would have to create. That's all. And there's a lot of different things here, but that could be another way of you generating income for yourself as an educator because you now have the experience. And so you can put together a checklist and, share some tips for folks and stuff of that nature. I'll talk to you more in depth. I don't want to be giving out all the but yes. And so this is the fun stuff that I do. I'm a complete strategist. I was doing education because I just felt like children need they need a pathway. They need the support. I'm very passionate about advocacy and advocating for children to have access to quality education. So I'm here by default. But I also love business and helping people reach their goals, which is how Shatter the Glass came about anyway, because I'm interested in people's journeys and their stories and stories like yours, where I'm like, hey, you ever thought about doing this and leveraging what you have and what you know? And you can still teach because I'm still teaching, right? Like I didn't stop doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it my way though, but I didn't stop. And so it allows me to do certain things the way I want to do it.
Absolutely.
There's no one way. And so those of you students of hers that are also listening, there's more than one way in any field that you want to go into. There's more than one way. Yeah,
that's a shadow glass.
Yes, sorry. Please never limit yourself. And so that's what I tell my babies. We're only limited by this.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, go visit, go explore, go learn something new, go challenge yourself and go have fun.
That's right.
Because there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun and things that can be done within the education space. You don't have to follow tradition. Not in this space, especially if you're an educator here in America. There's some, there's flexibility around certain things because each state is going to handle this differently. And now, like I said, with the pandemic, the way everyone jumped online. I mean, I was already online. Yeah, I was already online from 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was online. We were doing it for luxury. Like it was, New York winters could be crazy. I don't feel like opening the school building today. Jump online.
Ooh.
Jump online. And I was only doing the older kids, but VIP Kid.
Okay, yes.
In China, right?
Yeah.
I had a meeting with their CEO. And so we were talking. We had a Skype meeting, trying to make it work, trying to figure it out. I was trying to partner, right, to expand Reading for Smiles. And we couldn't agree because it was like, oh, use their platform, use my teachers or use our materials, but then their platform. It was all this stuff, all legal stuff. And I'm like, you're taking away from the fun here. But they are the ones who showed me first that you can get kindergarten and first grade students online if you knew what you were doing and if you took your time doing it. And I am forever grateful for them. Our partnership may not have worked, but I'm forever grateful for the opportunity of the conversation to brand in my own scope and vision. Because it was like, Now, nobody has time to think about these little people and all this other stuff. What does that time frame look like? How long can they be online? You know, people, we have all of these different questions. And I will say we even have to do more topics around this alternative stuff because parents needs to also know. She said, oh, my mastermind sister works with VIP kids. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they were cool. They were cool. But we, you know, it was like, it was just a relationship that couldn't get off the ground. So I don't have, you know, I always tell people I'm not trying to compete with anybody anyway. There's so many children out here that can benefit from us all, you know, that's one.
That's right.
And then two, we don't do the exact same thing, but we were trying to figure out that comfort of blending our worlds. But anyway, I digress on that. So yes, there's so many different opportunities, people. And I don't care what you do. You can be the plumber and still go work overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just think of this from the education aspect. Take any industry, anything you're doing here, you can go do somewhere else too.
There's many pathways that one could
follow. So many pathways, and find programs and sponsorship programs that do that, or find teaching service groups or social work service groups, whatever it is, because everybody's background is completely different.
Absolutely.
And don't be scared to jump in.
Yes.
Don't be scared to jump in. I love, that was a shot of the glass one. All right. Well, Janae, any final words for our friends and those who are viewing?
Any final words? Once again, you see, I do this for the children. You see, I'm getting all the love, girl power gems. Like, everyone here has been amazing and supportive. Yane, I appreciate this time speaking with you. And this is just another way for me to just share my story and just get it out there, because I was silent for 8 years, but I'm not going to be silent no more. So y'all just going to have to just listen and hear everything that I'm going to share with you if you're going to follow me on YouTube or any other way.
As a matter of fact, let's put your banners and stuff back up again. People, please follow her channel, Teacher World. You see how it's spelled on YouTube right here. And those of you who are joining from Facebook and different things, that's go to YouTube. And then you can go to pensite.com /x/Teacher World and also connect with her there, because you'll touch all of her social media platforms. But yes, honey, I want you to keep teaching, keep showing, keep inspiring, keep working with the kiddies, because they all need it, and they all need your bubbly personal voice and story. Tawana said you found your voice. Yes. And it's super, super important, you know? And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I get the Shatter the Glass Girl Day going. I mean, it's not going to be called Shatter Glass. I don't want to say the name for it yet.
Okay.
I've been getting better with that. Like, hold on, Yadi, wait. But it would be an event in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been pricing out so many things. I've been looking at decorations. I'm looking at what's our food. I want it to be a brunch. It would be a women's empowerment event.
I love that. We, as women, we need to get together.
And I mean, and really building the network. This is business for me. So this is building business networks, and you know, just creating a space for awesome people to meet other awesome people. I'm very serious about that.
Yes,
very serious about that.
I look forward to it.
Yes, I will keep you posted. But we will talk about that thing, okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that thing. There's more than one path. Continue to be making strides on becoming an administrator. I'm super proud of you. I just want to publicly say that. Oh, so Miss Joyce said you both deserve Shatter the Glass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that your mom? Is that your mom? No, it's her and Jolinda's sisters.
No. This.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I said.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I was asking if her and Miss Jolinda were sisters.
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we love you, Mom. I can't wait to see what the future has for you. I can't.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, people. So listen, if you like what you heard, please hit the share button and the like button so that we can stay in YouTube's wonderful algorithm. Okay. Subscribe to the channel. I have more awesome interviews coming up that I can't wait. And I got a bunch of pre-recorded interviews that were done that are sitting there that's waiting to be released. So I'm excited. Everyone have an amazing night. Janae, do me a favor, hang out in the back room. I'm gonna come check with you in a second.
Oh.
And everyone, please hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe. Thank you for joining Janae and I tonight as she shattered the glass, telling us about her journey through China. Again, everyone can go abroad and go try it out. Go travel, go see the world. The sky is the limit, literally, and have fun doing so. Make sure you follow what Janae said with researching the countries, getting to understand the cultures before you do this work, though, and really pay attention to those who are already doing it, like the expats and stuff. There's so many different groups that are out here. Just do your research on them, fill them out, make sure it's a right fit for you, and really make sure, thank you, Tawana, really make sure that this is what you want to do. But I will say this is an awesome way to go and travel the world by doing the work that you love in different places. I hope that sinks in for people. Go take the work that you love and go do it in separate places, in different places. And so on that note, people, please enjoy your night. Have a great week ahead. If you're on vacation and you're in New York, enjoy. See you at the next live. Bye.